All right, let's dive into the world of wood treatment. We're talking about how to absolutely nail that interview for a wood treater position.
Yeah.
And we've got some awesome resources from RoleCatcher to help us out.
Yeah, really good stuff.
Their detailed career guide, A&D, a matching interview guide,
That's right. Packed with real interview questions.
which is what we'll be focusing on today.
Definitely.
We're going to go deep on some of those tricky interview questions.
We are.
But before we get into the specifics,
Okay.
let's set the stage a bit.
Yeah, good idea.
What does a wood treater actually do?
Well, it's more than just treating wood.
Right, beyond the obvious.
It really is.
Like, what's the big picture here?
It's about protecting wood from the elements, enhancing its durability, and even influencing its color and character.
Wow.
Think about taking ordinary wood and giving it that rich, weather-beaten look for like a high-end outdoor furniture piece.
Oh, yeah.
That's the magic of a wood treater.
Okay, so it's more than just slapping on some sealant.
Oh yeah, much more.
It's like your artists working with wood.
You could say that.
But I imagine the specifics of the job can vary.
They do.
Quite a bit, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Like depending on...
Depending on the industry, yeah.
Yeah.
Like construction or furniture making, they'll have different treatment needs.
Okay, so...
So before you even walk into that interview,
Right.
think about the kind of wood treatment projects that you find most interesting.
Okay.
That passion will shine through
Oh, I like that.
and show potential employers that you're a good fit.
Yeah, that's a great point.
It
'Cause
is.
you got to be excited about the work.
Absolutely.
All right, so we've set the stage. We've talked about the big picture of what a wood treater does.
We have.
Now, let's dive into those interview questions.
Okay, let's do it.
What's a question that often throws people off?
One that comes up a lot is, what experience do you have in treating different types of wood?
Okay.
Might seem straightforward,
Sure.
but they're looking for more than just a list of wood types. They want to see that you understand how different woods react to various treatments.
Okay, so if they ask about your experience treating, say, pine,
Okay.
you wouldn't just say, oh, yeah, I've treated pine.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
You have to go a little deeper.
That's
don't
good.
I?
That's your chance to show off your knowledge.
Okay.
Talk about the specific properties of pine,
Uh-huh.
like its softness and tendency to absorb moisture.
Okay.
Then, explain how those properties influence your choice of treatment methods.
I see. So I want to showcase
You
my
want...
thought process and connect the wood's characteristics to the treatment approach.
Exactly.
Okay.
Not just listing facts,
Right.
demonstrating understanding.
Okay, so think back to a project you tackled where you had to choose a treatment based on the specific wood type.
Okay. Yeah.
What factors did you consider?
Well, I once built a bookshelf using oak,
Okay.
and I knew oak was a hardwood.
Uh-huh.
So I opted for a penetrating oil finish to highlight the natural grain.
Okay, and provide durability.
I see.
Yeah.
So you explain the wood type, its properties,
Right.
and how those factors influence your decision.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect example.
Thanks.
Now imagine the interviewer digs deeper and asks, what were some challenges you faced during that project,
Okay.
and how did you overcome them?
All right.
So they're testing my problem-solving skills.
They are, you got it.
Okay.
This is where the STAR method comes in handy.
All right.
Describe the situation, the task,
Uh-huh.
the action you took, and the result you achieved.
Okay, so going back to your bookshelf project,
Yeah.
you could talk about how
Let's see.
you noticed some unevenness in the wood grain after applying the first coat of oil.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
I had to lightly sand the affected areas before applying the second coat.
Okay.
Resulted in a smooth and even finish.
Perfect. You clearly outlined the problem, your solution,
I tried to.
and the positive outcome.
Yeah.
So the interviewer would be impressed by your ability to handle challenges effectively.
Hopefully, yeah.
This is where RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful.
Right? It can.
It can analyze job descriptions
It can.
and point out any skills gaps
Right.
that you might need to address.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, for example, if the job description emphasizes experience with eco-friendly treatments,
Okay.
but you haven't highlighted that in your experience, RoleCatcher will flag that for you.
It will.
It's like having a personal coach
It is.
who helps you tailor your answers to the specific role.
Absolutely. It takes the guesswork out of it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, let's tackle another question.
All right.
What else might they throw our way?
All right, get ready for this one. Can you describe a time you had to troubleshoot a problem in the wood treating process?
Okay.
They're looking to understand how you approach challenges and think on your feet.
Okay.
So, have you ever encountered an unexpected problem during a wood treatment project?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, tell me about it.
Once I was staining a winter deck, and I didn't realize there was still some moisture trapped in the wood,
Oh
and
no.
the stain wouldn't absorb properly, and it started to get blotchy.
Ugh, that's the worst.
I know.
So what did you do?
Well, I had to pause the staining process
Okay.
and allow the wood to dry completely.
Okay, good.
And then I lightly sanded the blotchy areas
Okay.
and reapplied the stain,
All right.
making sure to apply it evenly and allow for proper drying time.
Good.
It took longer than expected,
I bet.
but the end result was a beautifully stained deck.
Nice. So you identified the problem, took corrective action,
Yeah,
and achieved a positive outcome.
I did.
That's what interviewers want to hear.
I do.
Now, let's say they follow up with, what did you learn from that experience?
Okay.
How would you answer?
I'd say I learned the importance of thoroughly checking the moisture content of wood before applying any treatments,
Yeah.
and always having a plan B in case something unexpected happens.
Very good. That's a great takeaway. It shows you're able to learn from your mistakes and adapt your approach.
It does.
Remember, every challenge is an opportunity for growth.
That's a good way to look at it.
It is.
This is all making me feel so much more prepared for those interview questions.
Good. I'm glad.
But I think we've only scratched the surface, right?
We have. There's so much more to explore.
Okay.
We'll continue our deep dive into wood treater interview questions in the next part.
All right.
We'll cover more challenging scenarios, dive into RoleCatcher's AI-powered feedback,
I like it.
and even talk about some insightful questions you can ask the interviewer.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
We'll save that for later.
we will.
Okay, so stay tuned.
Do. Welcome back to our deep dive into prepping for your wood treater interview. We're about to tackle some more of those real-world questions from the RoleCatcher Guide and help you formulate winning answers.
I'm ready for more. Let's keep those interview skills sharp.
Okay, great. Let's dive into this one. What kind of equipment have you used for wood treating? Now, it might seem simple,
Okay.
but this is your chance to demonstrate both practical experience and your ability to speak knowledgeably about the tools of the trade.
Okay, so it's not just about rattling off a bunch of equipment names. I need to show them.
Yeah.
I understand how and why those tools are used.
Exactly. Think about the specific types of equipment you've used.
Okay.
Maybe pressure treatment systems,
Yeah.
dip tanks,
Yeah.
or kilns, and relate them back to the wood treatment projects you've worked on.
Okay.
For instance, if you've used a pressure treatment system,
Right.
you could explain how it forces preservatives deep into the wood,
Right.
making it perfect for outdoor projects like decks and fences.
That makes sense. It's about connecting the tools to their purpose and showing that I understand the why behind the what.
Right. And think about this. When they ask about your equipment experience,
Yeah.
they're also subtly assessing your safety awareness.
Oh, that's a good point.
So weave in some details about how you prioritize safety when operating those tools.
Okay, I can mention any specific safety training I've received
Mm.
or talk about my commitment to following proper procedures.
Exactly. Now imagine they follow up with, can you walk me through the steps of operating a pressure treatment system?
Oh, okay.
This is where you really shine by demonstrating a thorough understanding of the process.
All right, so I would explain each step,
Okay?
like preparing the wood,
Yeah.
loading it into the system,
Okay.
setting the treatment parameters,
Yep.
monitoring the process,
Good.
and finally, inspecting the treated wood.
Perfect. And don't be afraid to get a little technical here.
Okay.
You can mention things like the types of preservatives used, the pressure and temperature settings,
Yeah.
or the importance of proper venting.
I see. It's about showing them. I'm comfortable talking about the details and not just giving a surface level response.
Exactly. Now, let's switch gears a bit to a question that often trips people up. What is your experience with regulatory compliance in a wood treating facility?
Okay.
This one might seem a bit dry.
I can see how that might throw some people off.
Yeah,
It's not the most exciting topic, but I know it's important.
it absolutely is. They want to know if you are aware of environmental regulations,
Right.
worker safety standards, and other compliance issues.
Right.
Even if you haven't directly managed compliance, familiarize yourself with the key regulations in your area.
Okay, so I should be ready to talk about how I'd ensure compliance in my daily work, even if I'm not the designated compliance officer.
Exactly. Highlight things like your meticulous record keeping,
Okay.
commitment to safety protocols,
Yeah.
and willingness to stay updated on any changes in regulations.
Got it.
For example, you could say, while I haven't been directly involved in compliance management, I always make sure to stay informed about the latest regulations and follow all safety guidelines.
Okay, that's a great way to frame it. It shows I'm responsible and take those matters seriously.
Now, let's look at a question that allows you to highlight your passion for the field. What have you done to stay up to date with new wood treating technologies?
Ooh, I like that one.
This is your chance to show them you're a lifelong learner who's eager to grow.
That's me for sure. I love that question.
Good thing. Think about any conferences or workshops you've attended,
Okay.
industry publications you read,
Uh-huh.
or even online forums you participate in.
Okay.
It's about demonstrating your genuine interest in the ever-evolving world of wood treatment.
So if I'm a regular reader of Woodworking Magazine or I follow industry blogs,
Yeah,
I should definitely mention that.
absolutely. And don't just list the sources. Explain how they've helped you stay informed about new treatment methods,
Okay.
materials,
Uh-huh.
or equipment.
Right.
For instance, you could say, I recently read an article about a new type of eco-friendly preservative that I found really interesting, and I'm eager to learn more about how it could be implemented.
I like that. It shows I'm curious and willing to learn new things.
Exactly. Now imagine they ask, what new wood treating technology are you most excited about and why?
Ooh, good question.
This is where your passion can truly shine.
Let me think. I would probably talk about advancements in water-based preservatives
Okay.
because they're more environmentally friendly
Right.
and safer for workers.
Excellent choice.
Mm.
You've demonstrated your knowledge, highlighted a specific technology, and connected it to your values. Now, this next question dives into another crucial aspect. How do you ensure quality control in the wood treating process?
Yeah.
This is all about showcasing your attention to detail and commitment to delivering consistent, high-quality results.
Right, because you can't just eyeball it when it comes to wood treatment.
Yeah.
You need specific procedures and thorough inspections.
Exactly. Think about the quality control measures you've implemented in your work. Have you checked moisture levels?
Yes.
Inspected wood for flaws?
Of course.
Do you meticulously document your process?
Absolutely.
Share those details with the interviewer.
Okay, so I could talk about using a moisture meter to ensure the wood is properly dried before treatment,
Okay, good.
or describe how I meticulously inspect each piece for knots,
Uh-huh.
cracks, or other imperfections.
Those are great examples. Now, let's say they ask, can you describe a time you identified a quality issue and the steps you took to address it? This is your chance to showcase your problem-solving skills in action.
Let me think. I remember a batch of lumber that wasn't absorbing the treatment evenly.
Okay.
I noticed it during my routine inspection
Good.
and immediately flagged it for further review.
Okay.
We ended up adjusting the treatment parameters and retreating the lumber to ensure it met the required standards.
That's a perfect example. You noticed the issue, took appropriate action, and ensured the final product met quality standards. It demonstrates your commitment to excellence. Now let's shift gears to a question that explores your interpersonal skills. How do you handle conflicts with coworkers or management?
Okay.
This might seem intimidating,
It can be a tough one.
but it's your opportunity to show you're a team player who can navigate challenging situations professionally.
Right, because everyone faces conflict at some point.
Yeah.
It's all about how you handle those situations with respect and a focus on finding solutions.
Exactly. They want to see that you can communicate effectively, resolve conflicts constructively,
Right.
and maintain a positive attitude.
Got it.
So instead of saying, oh, I just avoid conflict, think about a specific situation where you had to address a disagreement with a coworker or supervisor.
Okay, I've got one.
Yeah.
Well, once I had a coworker who wasn't following safety procedures properly.
Oh,
I approached them privately and explained my concerns,
good.
emphasizing that safety was our top priority.
Okay.
We had a respectful conversation, and they agreed to follow the guidelines more carefully in the future.
Excellent. You addressed the issue directly,
I did.
focused on the shared goal of safety,
Yep.
and achieved a positive resolution. Now, imagine they follow up with, what did you learn from that experience?
Good question.
What would you say?
I learned the importance of clear communication,
Yes.
active listening,
Uh-huh.
and finding common ground even when there are disagreements.
That's a valuable takeaway. It shows you're capable of reflecting on your experiences and continuously improving your interpersonal skills.
I think so too.
Ah,
Okay, this has been incredibly helpful. I feel so much more prepared to tackle those tough interview questions.
that's what we're here for.
I appreciate it. But before we move on to our final segment,
Okay.
let's take a moment to revisit how RoleCatcher can give you that extra edge in your interview prep.
Okay. Yeah, we've talked about some of its features, but it's worth emphasizing just how powerful RoleCatcher's AI can be in preparing you for that specific interview.
I agree. RoleCatcher goes beyond generic advice.
Right.
It analyzes the specific job description you're targeting and provides personalized feedback on your answers.
I see.
It can even help you tailor your responses to the company's values and needs,
That's really helpful.
which can make a huge difference.
It can. So if the company emphasizes sustainability, for example,
Okay.
RoleCatcher might suggest weaving that theme into my answers to show my alignment with their values.
Exactly. It's like having a personal interview coach. It is.
Who knows the ins and outs of that specific role and company?
Okay.
And remember, RoleCatcher isn't just about giving you the right answers.
Right.
It's about helping you deliver those answers with confidence, clarity,
Okay.
and authenticity.
That's incredibly valuable.
Yeah.
So for anyone listening who's serious about landing their dream wood treater job, I highly recommend checking out RoleCatcher.
I do too.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up this deep dive into interview questions, there's one more crucial aspect we need to address. Asking insightful questions of your own.
Ooh, that's a good point.
You got it. Asking thoughtful questions shows the interviewer you're engaged, genuinely interested in taking this seriously.
Right.
Plus, it gives you valuable insight into the company culture,
Oh, that's a good point.
team dynamics,
Okay.
and the specific challenges and opportunities of the role.
Right. Okay. So what are some good questions to have in my back pocket?
You could ask about the company's commitment to sustainability, their investment in new technologies.
Or their approach to training and professional development.
Okay.
You could also ask about the team dynamics,
All right.
the company's growth plans,
Okay.
or the most rewarding aspects of working as a wood treater at that specific organization.
Those are all great suggestions. It's about showing I'm not just looking for any job, but that I'm specifically interested in this company and what they have to offer.
Exactly. And remember, asking questions is a two-way street.
Right.
It's your opportunity to assess whether this company is the right fit for you.
That's true.
So as we wrap up this segment,
Okay.
I encourage you to jot down a few questions specific to your interests and goals.
Right.
It's a small step that can make a big difference in leaving a lasting impression
It can.
and demonstrating your enthusiasm and curiosity.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Now, are you ready to move on to our final thoughts and takeaways for aspiring wood treaters?
I'm ready when you are.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up this deep dive with some inspiring insights to help you confidently approach that interview and land your dream job. Okay, we've made it to the final stage of our deep dive into wood treater interview prep. We've talked about a lot, from the basics of the role to those tough interview questions.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
But what's the bottom line here? What are the key takeaways for anyone hoping to become a wood treater?
I think the biggest thing is it's not enough to just know about wood types and treatment methods.
Okay.
You have to really show your passion for the work, your commitment to safety, and your ability to adapt and problem solve when things get tough.
Right. Those soft skills are just as important as the technical stuff.
Absolutely. Those are the things that really show an interviewer you're a well-rounded candidate, someone who's ready to be a real part of the team and make a positive contribution.
Yeah, that's a great point. And something we've touched on, but I think is worth emphasizing, is the need to keep learning.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, the wood treatment industry is always changing. There are always new technologies and trends coming up.
All the time.
So staying on top of that is so important.
It really is. And it's something you can actually use to your advantage in an interview.
Oh, how so?
We'll talk about those industry magazines you read, the conferences you go to, even just conversations you have with other people in the field.
Okay.
It all shows the interviewer that you're proactive, you're curious, and you're committed to staying at the forefront of the industry.
Yeah, it shows you're serious about the work.
Exactly.
And speaking of being serious about the work and staying ahead of the curve, we've got to mention the resources that RoleCatcher offers.
Definitely. Their career guide and interview guide are incredibly helpful.
Yeah, for anyone getting ready for a wood treater interview, those guides are like gold.
They are, and when you combine them with RoleCatcher's AI-powered feedback and practice questions,
Right.
you're really getting everything you need.
It's like having a personal interview coach right there in your pocket.
That's a great way to put it.
RoleCatcher can analyze the specific job description you're looking at
Right.
and help you tailor your answers to that particular company.
Exactly. It's not generic advice.
Right.
It's specifically designed to help you land that particular job.
I love it. So for anyone listening who really wants to get that dream wood treater job,
Yeah,
do yourself a favor and check out RoleCatcher.
definitely will help.
Okay, so before we wrap up this deep dive,
All right.
there's one last thought I want to leave you with.
Okay.
When you go into that interview, yeah, you want to answer the questions well,
Of course.
but it's more than that.
It is.
It's about showing your enthusiasm,
Yeah.
your willingness to learn,
Right.
and really your passion for the craft of wood treatment.
It's about the whole package.
It is.
Yeah.
Let that passion shine through, and I think you'll be well on your way to success.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay, well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into wood treater interview prep. We hope you found this helpful and feel ready to go out there and ace that interview.
And remember, keep learning, keep exploring, and good luck out there.
Thanks for joining us.